welcome to Pitch BrandTalk. I have with me today Mr. Satanik Chaudhuri. He's the Senior Vice President and National Head Marketing. Satanik, hi.
Hi, Simran. How are you? Thank you for having me on the show.
Satanik, I want to start first with your celebrations in the company. The company has reached a silver jubilee, and you're celebrating 25 years of operations. You've also come out with a new brand identity and logo. So, what does your new brand identity reflect?
So, we have been operating since last 25 years, and this is our 25th year of operation, rather. So, we started our journey in 2000. We are the part of Shriram Group, the bigger Shriram Group, and that's how we carried forward their emblem. And what we thought and what we observed over the period of years that we need to connect more with our recent edge audience, right? So we need to be more connecting with that audience, and for that matter, there's certain level of expectation to change the perception as well. So a new logo reflects more on that. It is more stylish, it is more sleek, and it is more Gen Z friendly, as we call it, right? So I'll just explain. If you have seen our logo, that has multiple components towards it. The mnemonic has 3 progress bars. Those are like progressing bars that we have imbibed from our parent group, Shriram Group, and that's the core values, right? That's mainly trust, transparency, and governance. These 3 progress bars denote these 3 core values, and it is embraced by a golden sleek swoosh. And it is again a mark of style and elegance. So if you see the color blue, which we have retained, the blue color is also the part of retention. It reflects wisdom. It reflects trust. It reflects confidence. So which we have retained that part. And the next part is of course the word mark Shriram Properties, which is more or less same. And this is the retention part from our older logo. So that's how we have formed the architecture.
You mentioned the color blue, which is synonymous with Sri Ram, the group as such. So, I just want to know your new identity. How much have you pivoted from your former identity, and what all have you retained in addition to the blue color?
So the word mark is more or less the same, Shriram Properties, and our brand motive, that's the tagline, the homes that live in you. So these components are the same, we have retained it. What has gone through a major change is the emblem, the mnemonic, right? So earlier we had the man with the suitcase, which is also the emblem of the Shriram Group. We have changed that, and as I was explaining that the 3 progress bar embraced by a golden swoosh is the new one which has come into picture.
You've also launched an initiative called SPL Next. Can you elaborate on this?
So SPL Next is the new avatar of Shriram Properties Limited. It has few pillars to it. So number one, of course, to celebrate our 25 years of journey. That's the legacy which we carry, right? So we have been present in few cities. There are certain deliveries which we have done. There is some trust factor. There are some credible numbers which we have in our back. That is number one. Number two is, of course, we have structurized that entire positioning per se, right? So one is we have introduced our brand ethos. We have introduced our brand motive, and of course that internal cultural shift which we are trying to do through the core values, which will be the part of SPL Next. And of course, I would say the most important part of any business is the accelerated growth. So these 4 will be the part of pillars of SPL Next, which is a combination to talk you in a nutshell.
Your target audience is the mid market and the mid premium segment. Can you share insights on what the TG that you are catering to is exactly looking for, and also the ticket prices and other details?
Right. So mid-market and mid-market premium, I'll talk about the ticket size first. Typically, we mention about 50, 60 lakhs onwards and goes up to 1.5 to 2 CR at max. Of course, depends on the market. So if I talk about markets like Bangalore, it's an average ticket size of 70, 80 lakhs and goes up to 1.5 to 2 CR. And in Chennai and Kolkata market, it will be little lower. And then we are also expanding to a newer markets, which will be as per the standards. So what they are looking at today is, of course, the experience. It's not just the brick and mortar of 2 BHK, 3 BHKs they are looking for anymore. So how do they have a comfortable lifestyle inside the projects? What kind of added value they can get? It's more like a value-driven market today rather than a product. Product comes into picture. They play a crucial role over here. But more than that, what they're looking at, that if I'm paying 1 rupee, what kind of value I'm getting out of it. So our focus will be more towards that if I can be a value driven brand rather than a pure brick and mortar brand. So that's again an initiative which is part of SPL Next, and that's how we are targeting Gen Z as well.
What is your marketing ethos?
So marketing ethos, as I said, is one of the core pillars of SPL Next. We have four elements towards it. We are again there's a farm architecture which we have introduced. There are four S's which we talk about. One is sensitive, one is sensible, third is spirited, fourth is stylish. So all our endeavors, be it at the product level or the way we deal with our customers or the way we conduct ourselves internally, all will be revolving around these four core pillars. So these four things which we are calling as marketing ethos or brand ethos for that matter.
You mentioned experience. What is a challenge you face, for providing a customer a seamless experience, say, across platforms? Because he may just visit you on the website or see, or, he may first see your ad in the paper and then visit you on the website. So across all channel, how are you connecting with them seamlessly?
So the first thing first, it's a very uniform kind of communication, right? So as a brand, what we ensure that customers, whatever they see on newspaper slash hoarding slash digital, and when they come to our site, whatever they see, the communication, the storytelling will be the same, and the same thing they are getting as a product as well, right? So if I'm talking about a larger balcony apartment, we ensure that they get a larger balcony. If I'm talking about a bigger bedroom or a spacious apartment, we ensure it is little spacious than the market whatever they are offering. So that's how we maintain the seamlessness across platforms. And the second part is whenever we deal with our customers, one part is the media, second part will be the personal touch point. It starts with the call, right? Let's say we have our pre-sales department. They talk to our customers on a certain nitty-gritties. Then they come to the sites. Then they talk to our sales managers, right? So everywhere they hear the same product story and the same marketing story, whatever we are talking about. And that's how we ensure that it is not a very different kind of part that, okay, I'm seeing this on your hoarding and I'm seeing completely different, other side. So we ensure this doesn't happen with any of our customers. That's how we ensure.
Share what is your marketing budget with us, and where is the money going in terms of your media mix, etc. I'm guessing print and digital and outdoors would play a big part.
Right. So typically marketing budget depends on the asset class, right? What we are marketing, and just because we are in the mid market and mid market premium segment, what we have seen, if I average it out, it is somewhere around 3.5% what we spend in media, right? And how we are bifurcating it. So 50% of it clear cut goes on, let's say on the visibility part, on the branding part. So we take care of ATL, we take care of under ATL also. You will see newspapers coming into picture, you will see hoardings coming into picture. There will be a lot of BTL activities as well, which is more like a surround creation activity. And the bread and butter is, apart from other channels, bread and butter will be the digital. There, the lead generation comes into picture, right? So we have certain funnels which we follow. So another 30 to 40% that goes to digital for lead generation as well as digital brand building. So that's how we typically bifurcate. If I average it out, again, it differs from product to product. If I'm selling a plotted development, the strategy will be very different than if I'm selling a 2 BHK apartment in one of the prime locations in the city. Similarly, markets like Kolkata, which is more ATL and BTL driven, and digital takes a little backseat if I talk about the project micro market where we are in, against, let's say, cities like Bangalore or Chennai or Pune for that matter. So yeah, on an average, 3.5%, 3.5% will be my media budget, and digital takes care of around 30 to 40%, and then another 30 to 40% will be your ATL, and rest of it will be OPEX.
When you mentioned about Gen Zs, so I'm going to ask you, what is the difference you're seeing between, say, millennials and Gen Zs, and how do you reach out to them? Is there any difference that you're seeing between the two generations? And if you're looking at Gen Zs, what is the average age of people buying the property? Because you would assume earlier that people in their 40s or so will be buying property. So, what is the age that you're seeing?
See, the buyer's age have come down drastically over the period of time, right? So earlier, all our campaign, especially let's say digital campaign, if I'm targeting a age group, it used to start with around 35 onwards, right? So 35 to upper cap would be around 60, 65. These days, we are targeting, let's say, from 26, 27. Again, as I said, depending on the asset class, the difference what we see is today's buyers, they are more aware, right? They are more aware and they have access to the world, so they see what they are getting, by the what is offered by the other developers, what is offered in other cities, and so on and so forth. So they are more demanding, and to match up with their demands, we also need to up our game, right, in terms of offerings, in terms of amenities. And the similar part, the difference is also when you are not meeting up to their expectations, it's very easy for them to go to the world and shout out about it. So you might hear that one problem getting shouted out, but there are 10 different things, there are good things that is also getting endorsed by this Gen Z. So this is a benefit for all of us. We are always on our toes to serve our customers as per their expectations. Not always it is possible, but yeah, to some extent, majority of the part, we see this difference between millennials and Gen Z, that little. Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah. So what I was saying, that Gen Z is one, more aware. Two, they have access to the world, and three, they are more demanding. So these are the differences and the observations what we are seeing.
Now, the other thing which I wanted to get your view on is how are you using tech, specifically AI and Gen AI? How are you using it in your marketing efforts? Are there any challenges you face?
See, as far as real estate marketing is concerned, it is not, I would say, as progressed. It has not as progressed as any other, let's say, e-com platform or something of that sort. It's still experimenting with lot of tools, which are using AI and generative AI or Chat GPT or those kind of part. The first thing where we utilize is our creatives, right? So there used to be a lot of creative effort earlier. I'm talking about used to be put in to create one image. Today, with the advent of technologies, it's comparatively easier. The second part of it is targeting your customers. So typically you get a lot of intel, and which has been produced by these tools, right? That who are the typical window shoppers, who are very serious in nature in terms of buying, who will be responding at what time. So accordingly, we get a lot of intel being the marketer to target some customers at certain time point, and things like that. So there are multiple touch points, and of course you would see the chat bots, right? So earlier it would be the vanilla chat bots. Even if you ask what is your name, they will say that, okay, please share your contact details, right? You ask who's the Prime Minister of India, they will still say, please share your contact details. So now things have changed. Now it is more like they understand the customers, again thanks to AI. They understand what the customer is talking about, which language they are more comfortable into. So there are multiple experiments which are happening. Is it being used extensively? It's going towards that way. Not yet, I would say.
Jesse, we look forward to how you use AI then.
Of course, it's on the part.
Now, I just want you to look back in the year. How's the year been for Shriram Properties?
See, the year has been good so far. The traction what we are seeing in terms of our revenues, in terms of our project launches, it is going as per the expectation. Q2 was a little on a shyer side, but I'm sure we are seeing very promising Q3 and Q4, both in terms of market demand and in terms of our project launches and our own internal dynamics. So I'm sure we will be able to meet up our year target, whatever we have set for us.
Now, I also want to know from you is that your biggest market is Bangalore, right? Followed by Chennai and then Calcutta. So, can
Correct.
you give me an idea of how are these markets right now performing for you? And looking ahead, which are the new markets that you're looking to enter?
Right. So Bangalore has been very, very good. Bangalore market is a lot of competition, number one, but the demand is also high. So Bangalore has its innate hunger to launch more and more projects. We are also expanding in Chennai. So Chennai is also getting influx with lot of demand, unlike other times. So we are expanding in Chennai as well. Kolkata being a key contributor, we have a huge land parcel in Kolkata. That's 314 acres of land parcel which we are holding in Kolkata. So it's a huge integrated township project. We will be completing that project and then probably move and think about any expansion in future, if any. But in terms of expansion, we recently, stepped in the market, in the Western market, starting with Pune. The project launch is due probably in next couple of months. We will be, launching in Pune as well to test the water in the Western market. And Pune definitely shows us a lot of positive lights, right? So there's another market like Bangalore, if I can give you a direct analogy in terms of which city it resembles. So Pune is more like Bangalore, mainly because of this cosmopolitan nature, right? So there's a lot of IT crowd, a lot of young crowd over there. So it resonates Bangalore behavior. So we are more bullish about Pune as well as my market expansion, and basis our experience will further decide where to go, and then decide on the market expansion further.
So you're moving from being just a South Indian brand to a national brand. That's the goal, right? Finally.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we wherever we are present, we are there in the top three, top five segment. In terms of the developer, uh, you know, countdown. But the only thing is, if you're going to Pune, the idea will also be to reach that top level and then expand further. But as you rightly said, getting a national stamp rather than a regional brand makes more sense. Increases our horizon as well, and of course we are listed, so makes sense to expand that particular fashion as well.
Okay. Are there any other project in the pipeline which you can talk about?
Yes, of course. So we are working on some 18 to 24 million square feet of pipeline, which we are looking at in next 2 to 3 years, and we are also doubling our BD effect in next couple of years. So the idea is we are acquiring more properties, we are signing up for joint developments and joint ventures, and pipelines looks quite positive, and that's one of the key initiatives which we are also taking as a brand, that accelerated BD approach, so that we launch projects in future and thus increase our pipeline as well.
What would be the growth drivers for the company, for Shriram Properties?
So for Shriram Properties, we will be talking more about. There are a couple of things. Okay, one is of course the accelerated growth, what we are talking about. The second part could be the market expansion. Pune being one of the markets which will be contributing towards a significant effect. The third part will be focusing on deliveries. So last year, if you have seen that in more than 3,000 houses we delivered in last year itself. So we'll continue focusing on those kind of deliveries as well. And last, as I mentioned earlier, the accelerated BD approach. So we are planning to hit that 2x number in next 2 years in terms of our BD approach. And as an ongoing operation, we are also extending our footprints in the cities wherever we are. So we will be launching projects in Bangalore and Chennai for sure, along with Pune market. So these will be our key growth
You
drivers.
just mentioned doubling, right? So the company has set very ambitious targets for the next 3 years. Can you talk
Correct.
about that and how are you all going to achieve that? More expansion to new cities?
New cities as of now, as I mentioned, that Pune is
Uh,
is the only city which we have evaluated so far. And growth drivers will be the how part, how we are doing it. So yes, the aggressive target is set for us. The first year is ending probably by March April, where we do it. We are on track over there, and as we mentioned that there are certain goals which we have set for us, like mission 1, 2, 3, 4 we call it. One is, of course, talking about the oneness amongst the company, and then you have, double your sales, triple your volume, and quadruple your profit. So that's how we are setting it up. But how, if you ask me, one, extended footprint in the existing cities; two, accelerated BD approach; three, more delivery focus; and four, new city expansion. To start with Pune. Yeah.
okay. Now, the real estate sector is very dependent on how the consumer sentiment is. So if you have money in the hand and consumer sentiment is positive, you do see growth. But then on the other side, there are also some periods of time when it is very bad. I'm now at the end of 2024. What is the consumer sentiment that you are seeing for the next year?
See, consumer sentiment, if you ask me, that has changed after COVID, I would say. So that pattern is still continuing.
Hmm.
So there are two aspects which I want to mention over here. So earlier it was more like spend on the experience. It's an asset light model earlier, right? So it's The typical concept of YOLO, right? You only live once. Uber model, that you rent a house, you Uber it, you don't buy a car, you don't buy a house. But COVID has shown us the value of the basic roti kapra makan. So you see, you have seen, like all of us have seen, that how a shelter has played a crucial role in all of our life, right? What has also been observed is the need of that extra half or one bedroom. So if I was content with 2 BHK at some point of time, so tomorrow or today, I am looking for that extra 2.5 BHK or that 3 BHK bedroom, only because the modus operandi in my workplace have gone hybrid. Maybe I'm talking about typical IT sector, or a lot of guys are also working from home, or people are visiting at their house, so they need that private space. So the sentiment, if you ask me, we are looking for little larger and comfortable space. As I was mentioning earlier as well, I'm looking for more community experience, right? So I need to have a proper walking space, good greenery. I have a pet, I need a pet park, I need a gym, I need an open theater, those kind of experiential piece. So this is one sentimental change, or rather behavioral change, which we have observed. The second part is there is a demand. There's a continuous demand in cities like Bangalore. So people are looking out to buy their own asset, and there's also been influx from NRIs and investors. So they are also willing to hold on their invest in their assets and hold on, and then sell it at whatever price point they want to. So this is the sentimental behavior or the change which we are observing after COVID, and it is continuing, and I'm sure this will continue for another couple of years, for that matter. Again, uh, God forbid, certain unprecedented factor may come. We are not here to comment on that, but if everything goes smooth, I'm sure this will continue for another couple of years or more.
And finally, a marketing trend that you foresee for 2025.
It's more digital. One word. It's the whole world is coming into digital. If you see, real estate, fraternity also started imbibing and following to more digital focused campaigns. Of course, print and hoardings and all those traditional media you cannot avoid. Those are like more like a credibility factor to today's date. But if you want to be present, and if you want to be the top of the consideration set amongst your buyers, you need to be a digital first company, and that's how Shriram Properties is also focusing on it. We will be a digital first company, and we are focusing towards it.
I think earlier we used to tell, I think digital first companies are companies which are working out of, which have been launched digitally online. So now a brick and mortar company is also looking to be a digital first.
Correct.
Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you.
Same here, Simran. Thank you so much.